Another team-by-team, 3-round mock draft here in the Sportsocracy. Let's talk about the Commandos. That team from Washington, they're getting ready to get a new owner.
He called them the Commandos, thank God. 2 years. The commies. No, they're the Commanders, not the communists.
I'm just trying to please you.
There was a joke there, and I let it go. I'm proud of me.
All right, the Commandos, this is turning over a whole new page because there'll be new ownership, but on the field, you got a new offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy. You're going to have Sam Howell as the starting quarterback of this team.
We're Carolina affiliates. We've watched Sam Howell since he was a senior in high school, and we believe in him 100%. Aggressively.
100%. So you got 3 picks here in this 3-round mock draft scenario. First one comes up at number 16 overall, and the Washington Commanders will select
Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois.
This guy's got a wide window when it comes to mock drafts.
I don't see any way he goes in the top 10. The size is bothering some people. Porter and Christian Gonzalez have passed him. He's got the greatest depth of tape, and I love this kid. I don't, frankly, understand why he's not going to go in the top 10, but he won't. I think his drop dead spot, though, is Washington. Very sticky corner. To me, is probably the best press corner in this class. I think he can do a lot of different things. The only problem I saw with Devin Witherspoon on tape was there are times that he takes angles, and I go, what the fuck were you looking at right there? Like, when he plays off. When he's stuck on a man, there's really nothing to fault him on. Nothing. But then there's that I played off, and you take this weird pursuit angle, and just all of a sudden somebody runs right by you. The other thing that bothers some people is that he was phenomenal this year. And he had just been – he was good. I mean, he was going to be probably a late day 2, beginning of day 3 guy going into this year. What people don't understand is how bad this Illinois team was before this year. Brett Bielema changed everything. And this kid got coached up, and this is the player I think he is. And I think he will be an immediate day 1, number 1 starter for the Washington Commanders.
All right, at number 48 overall in the second round.
Some folk will never lose a tooth, and then again, some folk will, like Cody Malk, the second-round pick of the Washington Commanders.
I think this is your new favorite guy in this draft.
He ain't got no toofus right there. It's just, I don't know where it went. Might have ate it. Who knows? He is a big, scary, terrifying individual. He has one of the funniest transformations I've ever seen. He was a 220-pound tight end when he came into North Dakota State. Then he gets to this point, and he's 6'5", 305. He's a big, just angry, and I love him. I do. I love him. Love him. Now, I don't think he's a tackle. I think he's a guard. Could he be a tackle in time? Maybe. Really good against a really good run blocker and a pretty good pass blocker. Really fleet on his feet. I really like him. I like how fluid he is. I think there is some raw, and there was some level of competition that will bother you. But, I mean, this was a kid he played for the best team in all of 1AA college football, and he was a really dominating player. Then he went to the Senior Bowl, and he dominated there. He started to slide for some reason in the last, month, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
So they draft him, put him on the bench, hope that he is the eventual replacement for Norwell? Or could he start over Norwell?
For me, he starts in front of Nick Gates right now
at
guard. Now, could you in time, I mean, if something happened and say Andrew Wiley got hurt, yeah, you can play him on the right side. If something happened to Charles Leno, you could play him on the left side. He's just really versatile. Now, he is one of these players, though, that I don't want to go switching his position a whole bunch of times. If he's coming in as a guard, I'm playing him at guard. Cosme can play on the right side. He can play on the left. Wherever it is I'm bringing him into play, I'm leaving him there. And Nick Gates can play center.
The Washington Commanders with the number 98 overall pick in the third round.
This kid doesn't get the love, and I really don't know why. Because this is one of the weakest positions in this draft class. And I'm not sure this kid's I'm not going to say he's my favorite, but he's certainly up there. Zach Pickens, South Carolina. defensive tackle.
Okay. Kid from Anderson, right down the hill.
I love this kid. He's 6'4", 290. I think the reason a lot of people don't, quote-unquote, love him is because he is kind of a tweener. He could play on the end, depending on how you view him. I think he plays on the inside. And it's just a really nice depth piece for me. No matter where it is, he's such a good pass rusher that no matter what it is you're looking for, he can give it to you. Now, is he going to hold up tremendously against the run? No. Not in the beginning. I think he can in time. And it's a developmental piece. You know, am I telling you that this is a huge, overwhelming need for this team right now? No, probably not. Probably not. And I think he can play an end in a 3-4. That's where a lot of teams think he will play his best football. But you give me time, and this is another piece that really adds to that line. You got John Ridgeway that you took last year, who I'm big fan of. Mm-hmm. Fedarian Mathis. Him and I'm sure somebody's going to comment this. We took Fedarian Mathis last year. They don't do the same shit. All right, so saying those two are like saying those two play the same position is like saying Stephen A. Smith and Bomani Jones do the same shit. No, one of them does it real good, and one of them does it real not good with them. I actually like all of the pieces here for Washington.
Right. I'm just saying, I feel like that's a lot of depth.
Oh, it's a lot
of tackle.
It's what they've done forever. And they like malleable pieces. Look, this is a kid I'm not sure you couldn't shave 10 pounds off of and put him on the edge. He's that raw of a prospect. But every time he's on the field, and you know we cover the SEC really closely, he was never not at it. There was never a time that he wasn't at a talent disadvantage playing at South Carolina. Still got after quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Knew it was coming because they didn't really have anybody else that could do it. Didn't matter. He's a dog. And I'm looking at that pick for Washington. There's not really a linebacker there because the linebacker gets thin fast. And as opposed to reaching on a player like that, I'm going to go get a quality player. Is it a need per se? Not necessarily. Depends on how some of these guys pan out. And you also got a lot of guys that have been hurt on this line. So I'm looking at it going, my defense is predicated on this front. And so if I have to add an extra piece and give it a year, I'm fine with that. As opposed to reaching on a linebacker, because I literally don't have one. With what has gone here, I don't have another linebacker that is within 50 spots of being drafted here. So it would have just been a gross reach no matter who it was.
All right, like I said, new quarterback starting in Washington on week 1. It's going to be a fun season to watch the commies.
You had to do it just to piss me off.
I had to get it in there.
If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, feel free to comment that out there. If there's a player you'd like to know how they fit with the Commanders, chuck that out there. I answer all of those. We got more response in the first set than I anticipated, so give me a day or two, and I will get to those as quickly as humanly possible.
Don't forget to like this video, share it out with your friends and fellow Washington Commanders fans as well, and subscribe to the channel so you can follow all of our team-by-team content here throughout the Draftmas season in the Sportsocracy, and of course we'll be live in the Ingles studio for each and every pick of the 2023 NFL Draft.